Flosstube and welcome to Punky's Place. My name is Heather and I go by Punky Purls on Facebook, Instagram, and Ravelry. It's been a couple weeks since my last video and the reason for that being is we've gone back to 80% capacity at work, so we only get one day to telework, and I used to record my videos on Tuesdays during my lunch for teleworking day. So now I'm going to try and schedule my recordings on the weekends, and they might be few and far between because now I have less stitchy time because I'm back at work. But I digress. Anyways, thank you so much for coming back and visiting me. For my new subscribers, I know you've come over because Becca of Sandbury Stitches has sent you my way, and thank you so much for giving me a shot. And also to my return subscribers, thanks so much for coming and hanging out with me. So over the last couple weeks, I have had a lot of fun. I'll be talking about that when I get closer to my haul section. And when I say I have a haul section today, y'all, I have a haul section. I have never shopped so much in 2 weeks for cross stitch. It was so fun. But let's get into the stitching. The first thing I want to show you is the finish for now, and that is my Modern Folk Embroidery, the Fruit of Plenty. I finished March's section and I started April's. There are so many stitches in each of these releases that they take a little bit longer, but it is still such a fun stitch, and I'm glad I'm doing the sew along or the stitch along because I figured I will be able to get more stitching in. I think if it was just up to me, I probably would have given up because there's so many stitches every month. I wouldn't have been smart enough to break it up. I'm stitching that with both DMC 598, which is this sky blue color, and DMC 318, which is a periwinkle color. I love that one. I love going on Instagram and seeing all the hashtag, like I put the hashtag in and seeing what every color combination other people are choosing. It's just amazing to me. The color combinations are gorgeous. The next thing I stitched on was Hands-On Design, Let's Talk Spring. And I don't remember if I talked about this or if this is a new start since my last video. I can't remember. But here it is. And this is stitched on 32 count Belfast linen in black with the called for DMC. This is a fun stitch as well. The only thing is I have to have my magnifying light, my halo, go with me because it's hard to see the holes on black. But it will be well worth it. With the light, it's not a problem. Alright, the next stitch along that I have, this is a new start as well. I am stitching this along with 5 other friends. This is called Flosstube Friends. It's by October House Fiber Arts. And Stacy of Stacy C Stitches got 6 of us total, to 5 Flosstubers and 1 Instagram follower together, and we're doing a round robin. The girls had all started before me because I was waiting on fabric, so my fabric finally came in, my floss finally came in, and I got to start. And here's my progress. This thing is no joke. Is it all in? Yeah. This thing is no joke. It is humongous, and I've had such a hard time doing the border. I don't know why I can't count to 8, but one of these I counted to 9 and it was off, and it shifted my whole border over a good ½ an inch. So I've had to rip this out 3 times in the last 2 days. If I didn't have a deadline, I would have thrown it because I don't know how to count. It is fun. It's not hard. It's just I have to pay attention, and apparently paying attention is hard. This is stitched on 40 count Zweigart in mallow with the called for flosses. And the ladies that are joining me on the Flosstube Friends is Stacy of Stacy C Stitches, Bobby of Pumpkin Creek Primitives, Jessica of Stitches of Sass, who actually has her first video out. We also got Janet, the Janet Jabber, and we have, oh goodness, why did I do this again? Whisper85 is her Instagram. Sally's her name, yeah. Sally is joining us too. We're trying to convince her to do a floss tube, but I don't think she will. She needs to. We need to drag her over to the dark side with us. But anyways, we're all stitching that, and our hashtag is FlossTubeFriendsRR. if you want to follow our progress. So what we're responsible for is each lady will stitch their border in one of the ladies, and then we pass it on, and another Flosstube or Instagram friend will stitch up any lady of their choice. So this is going to be fun. I'm excited. I have plans to make them some goodies, so I'll probably be doing that this weekend and getting that out to them soon. But I need to get stitching on that because I think I'm a little bit behind. The other thing I stitched on was my Nora Corbett Eva. This is the one where I put the fabric the wrong way. But I got, let me see, which way does this go? Yeah, I put in most of her back end of her dress, so I will have plenty of room. This is on 32 count Lugana, I believe, by Bee Stitch Me. The color is fantastic. I think it was unnamed color. If it wasn't unnamed, then I think it was Grog, but I can't quite remember. But I am loving how that's stitching. I had a recall on my car and was stitching this at the Volkswagen dealership, and people were giving me crazy looks, but I got quite a bit done, and the colors are gorgeous. That is stitched, like I said, on 32 Bee Stitch Me fabric with the called for flosses, which are these pretty pinks, purples. And then on Tuesday was an exciting day. A couple months ago, Becca Sambry Stitches and I started chit-chatting over Instagram, and we realized that we don't live very far from each other, so we planned a get-together stitchy day. Oh my gosh, we had the best time. It was like we were friends that were just catching up. It was amazing. We went to Threadneedle Street in Issaquah. It was the first time I had ever been to a needlework shop. I went crazy. I went crazy. I shopped until we dropped. And then we went to Hobby Lobby. We also went to a quilt shop. And we went to a really cool 1950s style diner and had some huge burgers. It's called Triple X Root Beer. So good. They make homemade root beer. On that day, we also went to Starbucks, and we got coffee or drinks, and we sat and stitched for a couple hours. And this is what I worked on when we were hanging out stitching. I worked on the Christmas wreath Sal by the Frosted Pumpkin. I'm a couple sections behind, but I did get this blue ball put in part of the greenery. I am going to have to pick that part out. You could see there's no white because we were just too busy chatting that I wasn't paying attention that I missed a whole snowflake or two. I don't even know. This is on the called for fabric with the called for floss. We had the best day. In fact, next week she's going to be coming over to my house because I'm trying to convince her that sewing machines are not scary and that I can help teach her how to sew straight, and she will be able to become a quilter or a sewer or whatever her little heart desires. I'm so excited about that too. So next week we're going to be going to a local quilt shop here, and she's going to bring her machine, and I'm going to try and convince her to love her machine. But that day, like I said, I'm going to get into the haul part of the day. Becca gave me, as Stitchy Kindness, she is so sweet, she gave me a bunch of thread drops, and they all came in this perfect little bag. And in the bag was my very first Frogger, which I have been using because Flosstube Friends was giving me a heart attack on that border. So it has come in handy. I love it. I got a crap ton of haul, like I said. So we're going to start small. I got needles because you always need needles. I got the cutest Black Sheep Club, which Becca is a complete enabler. I think we enabled each other on a lot of things, especially at Hobby Lobby. But the Black Sheep Club, I love anything sheepy or wool or knitting or any kind of thing related. I picked up this 36 count linen. This 36 count linen in granite. It's like a gray brown color. And this 40 count stone gray piece of linen as well. Becca and I both saw the Plum Street Samplers Rest a While with the little fox. We both picked this up, and we both picked up the called for floss, which if you need floss, call Thread Street Needle in Issaquah. She had so much floss to choose from. In fact, I think a lot of people are looking for black coffee, and she had every color that we needed. Yeah, they had black coffee there too. I don't have a very big stash of fancy flosses, so I really want to go back and find, like, just go back and just kit up a bunch of things with fancy floss, because why not? It's gorgeous. I also picked up the Queen Bee, the Mirabilia pattern. I plan on stitching this one day and making her skin more my tone. I picked up Lady Justice. If you need any Mirabilias as well, she even has some out of print ones. Just give her a call. She says she ships anywhere, so you can call the shop and see if they might have one of the patterns you're looking for. And then I also picked up the Petal Fairy, which my daughter's middle name is Petal, so I plan on stitching this for her, and I am going to convert her skin tone to Sierra's skin tone. I have mixed babies, so I'm going to make them look a little bit more like her. I also picked up Teresa Koget's Pet All the Dogs, and my plan for this one is to make some sort of memorial thing. A couple years ago, we lost two of our dogs, a Yorkie and a Yorkie Maltese mix, Gizmo and Rocky, so I plan on putting this up with their pictures. I picked up a Cricut Collection Sit for a Spell for Halloween, and my plan for this one is to finish it, obviously, stitch it and finish it, and put it on the enamel sign that I put my Be Mine on that I just did last month. If you're looking for Prairie Schooler, she even has the original cardstock ones, and I picked up All You Can Eat by the Prairie Schooler. And my plan is to stitch the picnic area one for the summertime and put it in my dining room area. Sierra, my daughter, wants All You Can Eat Fish. I don't know why, but she wants me to stitch that for her too. And then I picked up the Prairie Schooler Where There Are Bees, which I've been wanting for a while. I think it's the perfect summer stitch. This one is a reprint, so it is not on cardstock. I wish it was. It would have been amazing if it was. But that was my haul from Threadneedle Street. Like I said, I went crazy. Crazy. And then I also got my Fabric of the Month Club from Jody of the Steel City Stitchers. Both my fabrics came. I got 28 count Lugana. And the fun thing about her club is that everybody got whatever fabric they chose, but she made everybody's colors different. So there was no spoiler alerts when we were posting them. I'll put the hashtag on the bottom of the screen so you can kind of see everything that everybody got. But these are amazing. They're so bright and cheerful. I think these would work perfect for a Halloween stitch. I think they would be amazing. Maybe even that new Sit a Spell one. Who knows? We'll have to see. But I got those in the mail when I got back from my stitchy day, so it was extra fun. And then my Flosstube friends stitch along. I had ordered fabric that wasn't arriving. In fact, that's why I am behind, because mine was not here and all the girls got to start there. So I ended up doing an emergency order, because you have to do an emergency order to 1 through 3 stitch, and I got the missing flosses that I needed, and also the fabric. I just got that 40 count mallow, but of course I couldn't just leave well enough alone, so I picked up some 32 count Vintage Country Mocha, some 46 count Cream Burden Linen, which this will be my first 46 count and I'm excited to try this. Some 28 count Brash Cashel, because I think it was on sale, and I think it'll be amazing to just have in my stash. And then Strawberry Fields Forever by Blackbird's Designs. when I turned 40, I got to go to England with my mom and my best friend. We took a, I think it was 10-day bus tour through England, Scotland, and Wales. And on part of the trip, we actually got to go to strawberry fields, and that fence just reminds me of when we went to go take, you know, spend time with each other on the tour. And that's exactly what the fence looks like. So I'm excited about this one. So that was my 1, 2, 3 stitch haul. The other thing, oh, there was more stitching I forgot to show you. The other thing I stitched on was my Shine On Sale. Sorry. And this is stitched on 25 count white Lugana 1/1 with the called for Cosmo flosses. And I have made some modifications. So that X is supposed to be red. I made it orange to try and tie a little bit more of the orange in because I felt like it was a little red heavy. And then the orange here, those two were supposed to be red as well. And I figured I would just switch it up. Like I said, bring in more of that orange. I also switched these two, the navy blue and the green were the same on each side, but there was a dark pink and a light pink here, and the dark blue and a light blue here, so I just made them match. So that is my Shine On sampler. This is what the finished pattern will look like. I'm also doing the sew along. So here is my quilt block for that. There are 3 blocks due this month. I only have 1 done so far, and I started cutting for the other 2. But this is using the same fabric, the Shine On fabric from Bonnie Camille. Alright, I also ordered from Fat Quarter Shop. I got Stitchy Stars. I think this will be a good, fun, patriotic piece. I don't plan on doing it in the long banner style. I plan on either doing changing one of these to a different colorway, like a different combination, not combination, but order of colors, and maybe doing a 4x2 or adding 2 more blocks and doing a 3x3. I don't know, but this was fun. And then the reason I ordered that is because I had to have this. I don't know if y'all have seen it. I'm sure y'all have. Flea Market Flowers by Holt. That just screams summer. They're going to be doing a stitch along for that, so I had to pick this one up. And I picked up Light Ash Lugana 28 count. So this pattern obviously isn't little, but I plan on stitching it 1/1 on 28 count. So I got that, and then also I didn't know Becca was going to be gifting me some thread drops, so I bought some plain white ones. I do make my own, but I figured, hey, might as well buy some of those. So that was all my cross-stitching haul. If you're not interested in any of my other crafting stuff that I've done over the last couple weeks, then thanks so much for visiting. But I'm going to talk about some other stuff I did. So I couldn't leave well enough alone, and I picked up a new hobby, which I'm loving, and that is punch needle. Here's my first project. I just got some weaver's cloth. I drew a heart with my friction pen and just practiced with my new punch needle, which I got from Hobby Lobby. This is crap. You can see it's not even or anything, but of course it's my first one. And so I've been looking at Punch Needle and Primitives magazine, and part of my haul, I bought the digital copy of the magazine, and you get the year's worth of back issues. So one of the patterns was this little lamb. It was more of like a country colored, and I changed it a little bit more modern. And here is my first official punch needle. My mom, who loves sheep, saw this on Instagram and said, oh, is that for me? And I said no, but I'll probably make her one day. And all I did was, you can see it's not perfect, but I cut it, and then I just put a piece of wool felt on the back. And it hangs on my corkboard. The other thing I did was I dusted off my spinning wheel, which you can see behind me. I haven't used it in a while. I wanted to free up some bobbins so that I can start spinning some of my fiber stash, and I made some yarn. my legs were so sore. I have not spun yarn in years. I don't know why, but I got my exercise for the day. So I dusted that off and started using it. And I plan on using it again in the next couple weeks. So maybe you'll start seeing some more yarny goodness from me. But I think that is everything. If you head on over to my Instagram, you can see all the haul that I picked up the day that Becca and I got to hang out. When we went to Hobby Lobby, we cleared out the spring section and we got a lot of fun things. And I picked up some fabric from a quilty shop that we went to there. And like I said, she's going to be coming and hang out with me next week. So we're going to be going to another quilt shop and I'll probably have a lot of fabric haul to show you. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for coming and spending a little bit of time with me. I really appreciate you and I'll see you next time. Happy stitching.